Hello, everybody. George at Entracte Audio.
Back here.
And me, we are going to talk about the 4-volume controls and aka shape knobs, because we are still getting a lot of question of asking what does it do. And after the last video that I have explained to Larry at Colorado, that he asked the question at the live stream with me and OCD Mikey, he has AG3000. So we're going to try to explain a little bit in more details about the 4-volume controls and how are we going to implement that into the future product, or the retrofit, or as an option as a current model.
Oh, we're talking retrofits now.
Well, let's not go that first. No, the retrofit is impossible. But let's talk about the history of the 4-volume controls.
Yep. Developed in, well, the first time I saw it was around 1999-2000, and it was on the AG3000 preamplifier, and that preamplifier had 4-volume controls.
That's a Blue Circle Audio AG3000
Yep.
preamplifier, have
Yep.
4-volume controls.
Yep. We
did not have a proper name for that.
No.
We never have a proper name for that.
No, it was just a system where you had 4-volume controls. Technically, in pure technical terms, the controls, the knobs control the amplitude of both the positive and negative phase of each channel. The negative controls were on the outside, the positive controls were on the inside. Now, that was a good sort of graphic setup for that preamplifier, because the way it worked was that the negative controls being on the outside, those were the ones that you turned to increase the width and a little bit the height too.
Yeah.
So you would increase the size and stature of the kind of what you would call maybe the front panel of sound. Okay, the inside controls were used to adjust the positive phase, the amplitude of the positive phase. And when you turn them up, what you wound up doing was you got a deeper sound stage. So positive for deeper, negative for wider and higher.
Yeah.
Now, what was really cool, I mean, really cool about that preamplifier, well, there's a number of things that were really cool about that preamplifier, but the most interesting thing and the most important thing for the purposes of this video was the ability to shape your soundstage in terms of width, height, and depth for a particular pair of speakers in a particular room. And some people found it handy to, now, I got to go back, because it wasn't just speakers. Sometimes you needed to tailor it to the shape of the room,
which can be considered as part of the speaker.
Yeah. But it was interesting in that not all speakers, obviously, the great thing about it is it made it tunable, and not all speakers wanted the same settings.
Yep.
Sometimes rooms wanted the same settings, which was interesting. But speakers definitely had their own preference of how much depth and width you had. The question I got all the time, now you used this before I used it. I mean, I used it for about 10 years until I sold that particular preamplifier. One of the big complaints was, well, I've got 4 volume knobs. Every time I want to change the volume, I have to move 4 knobs,
and then also change the shape of the sound stage.
Right, and so the new implementation is going to be that there are going to be the 4 controls.
Yeah, 4 separate knobs,
Yep.
Same function as the old 4 knobs, but it will have a master control.
volume.
So after you set your 4 knob, positive phase and the negative phase, and then you stay set. It just stays set on that one. You don't have to touch it anymore unless you want to change the shape. But then you have a master control to change the overall volume.
Yep. Now, the other question I get, and I get the same question too about the, and this is a little bit different from the shape knobs, the C312, the adjustable gain settings.
Yeah.
The same question. It's like, no, I've got 3 knobs to change. And yeah, you do. But both of these are they're intended. Now, other people will find other ways to use them. I mean, people get creative. Once they have electronics in front of them and they get comfortable with them, they tend to start getting a little bit creative. And honestly, I promote that. I mean, use your ears to find something you like, and forget the whole thing about accurate. There's no accurate. There's just no such thing as accurate.
No such in life, in audio, in anything. No such thing as accurate.
No,
just like your TV is not accurate.
Yeah, it's not accurate. I mean, you want accurate? Go conduct a symphony orchestra. Okay, and by the way, don't record the symphony orchestra. Just go conduct it. That's somewhat accurate. And if you did that enough, you would find that audio is a little bit of an illusion. Because you know what, you don't always hear the oboe over there. You don't always hear the triangle over there.
And the more symphonic orchestra's music I heard,
yeah,
even the conductor is not accurate.
That's a totally different thing, but that's correct.
Yeah, because they always put the mic way high, the sound stage way down there.
Yep. But enough about that. So, yeah, you have controls, experiment with them. But for the most part, these are set and forget, or they're meant to be set and forget.
Did you talk about the shape knob now, are you?
Yeah. Well, the shape knobs, a lot of times...
Other adjustment.
The other adjustments?
Adjustment in general.
Adjustments in general, they're kind of set and forget. And so the next question from clients and prospective clients has always been, well, if I'm just going to set them and forget them, why do I need them? And my answer always is, because you got to set them in the first place. And that's an important thing. Like, just a little bit of an adjustment can go so far. So they're valuable tools to have. But the neat thing about the shape knobs is that you can use them. I hate to say it, but no, I don't hate to say it. What am I saying? I love to say it. They can be quite effective to create a usable product out of a not so good recording. I'm not going to go and name bad recordings but there's a lot of. I think that one of the common offenders in this category is pop music recordings. Right? Some great music on the recordings. I'm not going after the artist. I'm not going after the songwriting. Like Elton John is an example. There's a couple of Elton John albums where I love the music, but the recordings are not. They're not terribly good.
Well, let's be fair. And some of those recordings are master. They actually master and mix for car radio.
Most of them they do.
So they are doing for the mass. And audiophile is a niche. Is a small little market within a niche market.
And what happens on those recordings is, oddly enough, even though they've mastered them for car audio on maybe a pair of 6x9 coaxial speakers, that's what they used to use.
Yeah.
They used to take car speakers, the oval ones, and master them on that, and then they'd master them on some bigger ones. But what seems to happen on a lot of those recordings is, for some reason, you'll get a middle section, and then you get two wide sections, and there's not a whole lot of connection between the middle and the two sides. It's weird. It's a music and the music becomes just grating to listen to. And the nice thing about the shape knobs is if you turn down the amplitude for the negative phase a little bit and turn up the amplitude for the positive phase a little bit, you suddenly get kind of a rounded, shaped version of this that's natural to listen to. It doesn't sound artificial. It sounds a lot more musical. So that's one way you can use those controls.
Those kind of recordings, there's like 3-spot recordings happened a lot in the 50s, 60s, and late 60s, even early 70s jazz recordings.
Yeah, they did.
Your drum kit is always on the
drum kit
right
there, bass and piano over there, and voice or melodic instrument in the middle.
Yeah. Sometimes rhythm section on the left, drum kit there, and then you get a main instrument, saxophones or guitar in the middle.
Yep.
That's kind of annoying, really. But those knobs can blend them together somehow.
Yeah. And the other thing too, we're not trying to tell you that that's a bad recording. Actually, some of those recordings are really enjoyable to listen to just the way they are. But if you do have a recording that's a little bit less than the standard you want, you can't make the recording better, but you can at least adjust the image so it's more pleasing to listen to. Again, honestly, it's not something I would do every day. It's not something that I would expect everybody to do every day. But if you're listening to that one recording and you love the music, but you hate the recording, and you can fix it a bit, well, that's a good thing to have. That's a good tool to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other complicated thing is, the other complexity in using a 4-control system can be removed in this case. Now, this is going to be a better system because you've always got master volume. So literally, you can set either the positive knobs in one place or the negative knobs in one place, and just manipulate the other set, leave the other two as a status quo, as a reference, manipulate the other set, and then use the master volume to make up the output that you want. So it's a better system. But the use of the 4 controls is important because it allows you to adjust the sound on the 45-degree plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when we start talking about a 45-degree plane, this also is an advanced control, more advanced way to use it. Yep. I'm going to put into another way to use it as an option. It's so many ways to use it. I don't think we can cover it all.
No.
But that 4-1 control can actually use it as a balance control. If you can think about it, it's a left and right set of control. As soon as you have a left and right separate control, you can use it as a balance control. Mm-hmm. And I have find so many people, music lover, audiophile, they are struggling with a symmetrical room.
Very few people have a perfect room.
Very few people have perfect room, and they are finding a balance control is very handy. But how many preamp nowadays actually have balance control? They kind of like work away from it. I don't have a balance control anymore since mid-2000s, really, and there are periods that audiophile was saying like balance control messed up the sound. So now these days somehow coming back and saying that I recently have several people asking me that can you do a balance control? No, I cannot retrofit a balance control, but we have been using attenuator things and adjustable attenuator, so they can put between the preamp and the power amp to adjust just tiny bit, 2 or 3 dB different left and right channel, and make the image a lot more center. And with that four knobs, you can do exactly the same thing. Just one side a little higher than the other, and make the image exactly center. Yep. Now I'm gonna take a chance to say this. This is risky. We all get it. Oh, our left and right match. I just happen to have a very good friend. This is actually a very, very good friend. I knew him since my college days, so we know each other for 5 years, at least 35 years. He's a hearing aid dispenser. He's also teach hearing aids in local college. Ask somebody like that. He'll tell you no left and right ears are perfect match.
Yep, it's true. So no perfect room, or very few perfect rooms, not perfect ears match, people aging. Let's face it, I mean, 20-year-olds can't afford to buy this stuff.
Or even 20 years old have never had perfect left and right hearing.
No, but I mean, they don't have, at least they've got good hearing.
Yeah. Better hearing.
Better hearing than we do. I mean, the other thing, too, is that because you've got access to both the positive and negative side of the signal, it's not just a question of balance left and right, but it's balance left and right, and
45 degree
40 and into corners, so that you can actually synthesize a perfectly shaped. Well, I don't want to say perfectly shaped sound. You can synthesize a suitably shaped sound.
Yep, and it's not just 45 degrees. It's actually infinite.
Yep.
Infinite all around like that.
Yep.
Because you have 4 knobs.
Yep.
Now we're getting complicated, and it's not that complicated, but you can always start from basic. But what we're trying to say is that 4 knobs can give you so much options. It's not just 4 knobs.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say?
Yep, I had to order one, so I did today.
Send me an email. I forget.
I will. I will send you an email, because if I don't send you an email, I'll forget too.
Yep.
Yep. But yeah, I think it's a good thing to have in the showroom to demonstrate the full capability. We have it here on Pinky now, but Pinky's only got the 2-knob version.
Yeah, Pinky only got 2 knobs. This was the 2-knob versions that I actually put back on Pinky just to try out the idea, and it so happened. It timings everything. It so happened that after I put this 2-knob on, and then I get on live stream with OCD Mikey, and then somebody just have to ask about that AG3000. If Larry, thank you Larry again. If you don't ask that question, I don't think we'll come up with this idea.
Not. And now that it's in a package where you've got the control separate from the master volume, you don't need to turn 4 volume knobs anymore. That's
But
really...
I'm sorry, Larry. I cannot retrofit that master volume control in the AG3000.
Sorry, Larry.
Yeah, but this now. Thanks again, Larry, because you asked that question innocently.
Yep.
We are actually having a new option, new features, and new product.
Yep.
That's the beauty of no marketing.
Yeah.
We get our customer to do our marketing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. And you don't have to run it by anybody. You can just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta make money, but I'm not gonna analyze how much money I need to make before I make the 4 knobs.
Yeah. And you don't have to pay the marketing department to tell you not to do it.
That's right.
Nobody to pay to tell you no, you can't do that now.
Mm-hmm.
So yep, C312 coming soon with 4 phase controls.
Not just C312 really.
Coming to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That 4 knob we are actually thinking about offering in all the preamp that we have and the future preamp.
Yeah.
But let's stop that way, otherwise you'll get really confused.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we shutting off now?
I think we're done.
Dinner time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Take care.